You picked your engine based on the fuel economy pitch, or you are about to, and here is what nobody showed you before you signed. Is the EcoBoost's MPG advantage actually worth anything once you run the repair math against it? I pulled the real ownership numbers, not the EPA estimates, not the best case forum posts, real fuel costs, real documented repair quotes from 2024 and 2025, and the specific failure event that wipes out every dollar the EcoBoost ever saved you at the pump in a single afternoon. What came back from that research surprised me, and it is not the answer either camp wants to hear. Before I give you the number, drop your engine in the comments right now. EcoBoost or 5.0 and how many miles you are running. We are going to check your situation against the data before this video ends. Round 1. The fuel math. Everyone is getting wrong. Let me start with what everyone thinks they know, because the way this comparison gets presented is almost always built on the best case version of the numbers, and the best case version is not what your truck actually does. The 2025 F-150 3.5 EcoBoost is EPA rated at 20 miles per gallon combined. The 5.0 is rated at 19 miles per gallon combined. 1 mile per gallon difference. At $3.50 fuel and 15,000 miles per year, that gap is worth $137 annually. Not nothing, but not a financial argument on its own. Here is where it gets interesting. I went through real owner fuel logs, not EPA tests, real tanks filled by real people driving real mixed cycles. The 3.5 EcoBoost in real-world conditions, including the normal acceleration and throttle demand your truck actually sees, averages 19 to 20 miles per gallon. The 5.0, which the EPA rating undersells at highway cruise because it carries no turbo drag at steady state, consistently returns 18 to 19 miles per gallon real-world. The actual gap is closer to half a mile per gallon than 1 full mile. But that is not even the piece that flips the math. Ford's own documentation recommends 91 octane for the 3.5 EcoBoost for optimal performance, especially under load. The 5.0 runs 87 octane all day. The current spread between regular and premium fuel nationally runs around 50 cents per gallon. If your EcoBoost ever tows, hauls, or works hard, and if you own an F-150, there is a fair chance it does at least one of those things, you are not running 87. You are running premium, and the cost math changes the moment you do. At 15,000 miles per year, the difference between running 87 on your 5.0 and 91 on your EcoBoost absorbs your entire paper fuel advantage. The real annual fuel cost difference between these two engines, driven the way most F-150 owners actually drive, lands between $0 and $150 per year. That is not a financial case for either engine. That is a rounding error. Stay with me, because fuel is not where this comparison gets decided. It is where the EcoBoost pitch starts to come apart. Round 2. The repair number the pitch never mentions. I spent time pulling real documented repair quotes from 2024 and 2025, not estimates, actual invoices from owners who went through this. And what I found on the Gen 2 3.5 EcoBoost, that is your 2017 to 2020 engine, is something every owner of one of those trucks needs to hear stated plainly. Forum moderators and experienced EcoBoost owners who have watched these engines age describe the Gen 2 cam phaser failure in terms I want you to hear directly. Their words, not mine. The failure is, quote, bound to happen due to part defect. Nothing prevents it. Ford issued Customer Satisfaction Program 21N03 specifically to extend warranty coverage on these engines because the failure rate was not a statistical outlier. It was the expected outcome. Ford knew. They created a program around it. The cam phaser job on a 3.5 EcoBoost today, based on real documented quotes from real shops in 2024 and 2025, runs $3,000 on the low end for a clean job at an independent shop, $4,500 to $5,000 at a Ford-authorized shop for the full timing and phaser package. If your timing chain guides were already wearing by the time the cold start rattle got addressed, because you drove it thinking it was normal, that bill runs $5,000 to $6,000. And it gets worse. Now run this backward against your fuel savings. At $150 per year in real-world fuel savings, your EcoBoost needs to run 20 years without a phaser event before it breaks even against a 5.0 on total cost. 20 years. If you are running a 2017 to 2020 3.5 EcoBoost right now and your odometer is past 70,000 miles, that repair is not a question of if. It is a question of when and how much the delay costs you. The people who sold you the EcoBoost on fuel economy were not lying. They were showing you one line of the spreadsheet. I am showing you the rest of the page. Round 3. Towing. Make your prediction before I give you the answer. Before I show you the towing number, I want your prediction in the comments. Which engine do you think wins on fuel economy under a real tow load, EcoBoost or 5.0? Drop your answer now. We will come back to it. Under light tow load on flat terrain at steady speed, your 3.5 EcoBoost returns roughly 1.5 to 2 miles per gallon better than your 5.0. That advantage is real and bankable for your truck towing a boat on flat roads in mild weather a few times a year. But here is the twist. Under sustained high-load towing, grades, summer heat, real elevation, your EcoBoost is running its turbos hard for extended periods. Heat is the primary driver of premature turbo failure. A turbo replacement on your 3.5 EcoBoost runs $1,500 to $2,500 per side. There are 2 of them on your engine. Owners who tow regularly and heavily are reporting turbo wear in the 120,000 to 160,000 mile window at meaningfully elevated rates compared to light-duty owners. Your 5.0 does not have turbos. Under that same sustained high-load mountain tow in summer heat, your 5.0 is running at the same thermal load it always runs. It is not being punished by sustained boost pressure and elevated heat cycles the way your turbo system is. Your naturally aspirated engine does not get harder to maintain the more you work it. Your turbo engine does. The owner who tows flat roads in mild climates captures the EcoBoost's towing advantage. The owner who tows grades in heat is slowly cooking the most expensive components on their engine while doing it. Round 4. The honest scorecard after 150,000 miles. Here is what the full ownership math actually produces when you run it correctly. Not the fuel pitch, the real number that applies to your truck. Daily driver, rare towing, correct maintenance. Your EcoBoost's fuel advantage is real, but worth less than $150 per year in real conditions. Your Gen 2 cam phaser risk is real and documented at $3,000 to $6,000 when it arrives at your door. The 5.0 maintained correctly over 150,000 miles runs a lower total cost than a Gen 2 EcoBoost that hits the phaser event, in which the data says will happen on your engine. Advantage your 5.0 by $1,500 to $4,000 over the ownership window. Regular tower on flat terrain in mild climates, your EcoBoost's towing efficiency closes the gap. On a Gen 3 engine where the phaser issue has been substantially addressed, your 2 options land within $500 of each other over 150,000 miles. This is the only ownership profile where the EcoBoost financial argument holds for your wallet, and it holds narrowly. Heavy tower on grades in summer heat. Your 5.0 wins clearly. No turbos to cook on your engine. No phaser risk at equivalent rates. Lower total repair exposure on the specific failure modes that your heavy towing accelerates. That is the scorecard, not the one on the window sticker. The one built from real repair quotes, real fuel data, and the actual failure profiles of these engines in the hands of real owners with real miles. What your engine needs from you right now. If your truck is a Gen 2 3.5 EcoBoost, 2017 to 2020, and you are past 70,000 miles, listen for the cold start rattle. That metallic chattering in the first 30 seconds of a cold idle that disappears as oil pressure builds is your comm phaser giving you its first warning. The moment you hear it consistently, address it. Every week you wait. After that rattle starts is a week for secondary timing chain wear to accumulate, and secondary timing chain wear is what moves your bill from the $3,000 range to the $5,500 range. If your truck is a Gen 3 EcoBoost, 2021 and newer, your phaser risk profile is meaningfully lower. Forum data from early 2026 suggests the Gen 3 is building a strong reliability record in its first 100,000 miles. Your primary risks are the coolant fittings, the turbo oil feed lines, and carbon accumulation on your intake valves. These are manageable with correct maintenance intervals and awareness. If your truck is a 5.0, your cam phaser risk is real, but the failure profile is different and generally more predictable. Your cold start rattle means the same thing. Get it looked at, do not let it run. but your overall failure probability at equivalent mileage and maintenance quality is lower than the Gen 2 EcoBoost, and your repair when it comes is priced in a range that does not erase years of fuel savings in one visit. Now, I want to hear your real numbers in the comments. Well, which engine do you have? What is your mileage? And has the fuel economy pitch held up in your actual driving? Not what you expected when you bought it, but what you are actually seeing on the gauge, at the pump, and if you have had any repair work done. We are building a real data set from this channel's audience, and I will be reading every comment. Drop them below. Hit subscribe if this kind of straight ownership cost breakdown is what you want more of here. And if you think repair costs and fuel are the whole picture, until we show you what the private market resale data says about high-mileage EcoBoost trucks versus high-mileage 5.0 trucks right now. There is a gap in those numbers that changes the math on everything we covered today. That video is next week. You need to see that number before you make any decisions about your truck.